Live Tuesday, August 15th from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. This is Fantasy Dominance Now. Come dominate fantasy sports with us, and bringing you all the tools to dominate is Soap Stash, the new soap standard. Like them on Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. Find them online, soapstash.com. And for ordering information, call 844-890-3197. From the best soap in the business, we are the best fantasy minds in the business. Happy draft. Hold on. What's that? Another Giancarlo Stanton homer, you say? Man has homered in 5 straight games to set a Marlins franchise lead with 43 over Gary Sheffield. Thank you ever so much for joining us. We have NFL DFS guru Mikey Kleinkoff back in the house.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Woohoo!
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a long time.
Almost about a month, right? You're saying?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. Between vacations and our station's hiatus for the summer. Back in the saddle again with Brian Daly, our PPR expert, and Des Bryant's #1 fan when it comes to fantasy.
I hate the guy.
We got IDP lover over here as always, Doug Pitchford.
Yo, what's going on?
And I'm your draft mastermind, Mwahaha, Rob Povey, all here guiding you to fantasy dominance thanks to Matt Tensudi in the producer's chair. If you want in on that dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search a2dradio.com. Now, if you got fantasy questions, tweet at us with the hashtag AskFDN. I'm at Robbie BLTZ. Doug, you are at?
Well, wait, is that Draft Mastermind or Draft Master in your own mind?
Probably in my own mind.
Oh. What's up, guys? I'm at StatMagnet85.
Mikey, you are at?
Mike_Kleinkoff.
And Brian, you are at?
Brian_A2D Radio.
No matter what the handle, hashtag AskFDN. We'll get to your questions live on the show, or if it's after the fact, we'll help you set up and dominate for, anything fantasy sports, whether it be DFS leagues, still remaining for baseball, baseball leagues, if you're lucky enough to be in playoff position, which will be starting in about 4 weeks or so.
Yep.
And, certainly getting ready for fantasy football. That's what we're here to. So what's up, gentlemen?
That's how we do, man.
It's good to have the gang back together, man. Before we get into the football, big baseball news with Bryce Harper.
Actually, even before I want to get into that, my heartfelt prayers and well wishes go out to the Flair family. For those of you who don't know, pro wrestling legend and, basically pop culture icon at this point, Ric Flair is, resting comfortably following a procedure done yesterday afternoon, I believe. That's at least has been confirmed by the WWE. His daughter basically said that her father's a fighter, and that she would update, more on his condition as, time warrants. We do know that it is a pretty serious condition. However, it is not a heart condition, which is a good thing. But again, it is a very serious medical condition, at least according to his talent agency representatives. So, in my heartfelt, like I said, my prayers and well wishes, go out to Ric Flair. I'm a big fan, obviously. I woo on this show every week. So, Rick, woo! Get better soon, bud.
Get well soon, nature boy.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is.
He's not dead yet, so it's not a shame yet. But it's close, apparently.
We can get better.
Hopefully he gets better. Hopefully.
Absolutely. So, Bryce Harper news, big injury. Luckily, no ligament damage in the knee for any owners out there, and certainly for the Washington Nationals. But we'll be out for some time. I don't know. What do you think about the prognosis? What do you think about when Bryce Harper can be back in lineups?
I wouldn't say that. I would say probably he's not going to be in the lineup, out of the lineup too long, but he's not going to be in the lineup long enough for you to really benefit in a fantasy perspective. I expect him back probably the last week or two of the season just to get him some at-bats, just to get him ready to go for the playoffs. But I don't expect him back before then.
Nah. I think they're in a good position right now where they don't really need to rush him back.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, he did avoid ligament damage. So.
Yeah, which is great news. I was happy to hear it was just a bone bruise. So, yeah. I wouldn't drop him anyway because our league's a keeper league. So,
right.
You can't drop Bryce Harper.
No, absolutely not. You'd be insane.
I don't think you can even drop him in single year leagues.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. He's too valuable.
I don't know. I would wait and see on that. I would give it to maybe the end of the first week of September. And if he's not like close to coming back yet, then I'm dropping him.
That makes sense.
Because that's what, like 3 weeks from now, something like that.
About that.
Yeah, I give him 3 weeks. See where he's at.
And then no can do. Got to get somebody. And, there's some meat coming up. Roster's about to expand. So there's going to be a big talent pool coming up to choose from, both arms and bats. A lot of outfielder prospects that could be coming up to the mix, too, specifically to help you deal with a more lengthy absence from one Mr. Harper.
Absolutely. I mean, this guy's up right now. I mean, you got Aaron Hicks out there. A lot of people dropped him when he hit the DL about a month and a half ago. He's back and raking. I mean, that's a guy you can easily plug and play right now as a fill-in. A lot of people have been dropping Adam Duvall because his bat seemed to have slightly cooled from his first half wonders, but he's still, raking in terms of the power production. That's another bat that you can add, right off the bat. Just two guys right off the top of my head that I know are available in a lot of leagues.
Yeah, guys get impatient because, the batting average, the swing strike rate is just off the chain with Adam Duvall. But the power does help balance it out in terms of if you're in a points league, if you're in a category league, hurts a little more.
It does hurt a little more. But, again, the home runs, the RBI production is going to be there with him no matter what. I mean, granted, yes, he does hurt the batting average. He does hurt with the strikeouts. But, I mean, you can't win them. At this point, especially with an injury to an elite player like that, like you can't win them all. So you kind of got to pick and choose.
Right. You do have to pick and choose. All right, so let's get to why the people are listening. It's fantasy football season. It's the best season of them all. No, not wedding season. It's fantasy football draft season. It's underway. We gave our IDP League Rankings 2 shows ago and Standard League Rankings last show, so go check them out if you haven't already, if you're in any of those type of leagues. But this week, we're addressing PPR leagues for running back, wide receiver, tight end, as well as our defensive special teams and kicker overall rankings, for all leagues. How should you target in each position in drafts? Listen to us and don't make that crucial mistake come draft day. But first, Ezekiel Elliott had this little suspension. I don't know if you heard about it for 6 games, pending upcoming appeal today or Wednesday. It'll be coming in. So, what will be the fantasy? The impact on fantasy football? We asked you on Facebook and Twitter, what round should Ezekiel Elliott go, considering the 6-game suspension? Still in the first, second, third, fourth or later? Chime in on Twitter, chime in on Facebook. We'll read your comments live. We'll get to the poll results end of the show. As always, gentlemen, I want to know what you think. You are in a fantasy football draft. Obviously, you're going to be in several of them upcoming. Ezekiel Elliott's not kept. It's a non-keeper league, and you're starting from round 1. Where are you taking him?
Well, in fact, that's actually how my Thursday league is going to be. It's still a tough question. I think if it does get reduced, and hopefully we would know by tomorrow, considering, like I said, I am drafting Thursday. If it gets reduced to 3 to 4, I think you're still taking him late first, early second. But with the 6 games, it's a little scary because then he's not coming back till week 8. Because if I'm not mistaken, Cowboys' bye week is week 7.
Correct. 6.
Or 6, okay.
Yeah, but same difference.
Okay,
yeah. So the 6th game would be week 7. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I mean, if it's a full 6 games, I'd probably take him mid-second, late third, but nothing late than that, or early third, nothing later than that.
He wouldn't be there later than that, I don't think.
I mean, I'm just saying, if that's 7 games or 7 weeks that you're missing him.
Well, the problem is that the appeal will be coming in today or tomorrow. When will you get an answer?
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same day. I mean, shit, look how long they dragged out the investigation for him. That was a little atypical, but even typical of most appeals. It could take a week to 10 days before you hear any word, and if you're drafting in the meantime, it's a big conundrum.
I don't know. I just don't like I don't like this whole situation at all. I think the NFL really botched this. I think the NFL, they tried to combine too much of what was going on with one player at once. You know what I mean? Yes, Ezekiel likes to go out there and be out there. He's a, 23, 24? 23-year-old man, millionaire. He's going to go party. He's going to have a good time. Granted, he's an ass clown. He definitely is, you know what I mean, showing himself to not make the best of decisions while out and about.
Right.
But, that being said, though, I mean, listen, the man's committed no crime. He's been convicted of no crime. I don't feel like this punishment, fits this crime, so to speak. I mean, you suspended Ray Rice for what? A game? You tried to get away with a game, then you turned into half a season after a video. Well, I haven't seen a Ezekiel Elliott video. Why is he getting 6 games?
It's a good point you make. You know, you compare him to Ray Rice, you compare him to even Josh Brown, who, you know, beat his wife for years. Several journals to back up as proof that she made, and he gets 1 game. I don't think it's a witch hunt like a lot of, fellow Cowboys fans are saying out there. I think that's bullshit, right? What I think, and this is purely in my opinion, folks, is that they sent him this suspension as a message. It's time to clean up your act. Just like Doug was saying, there is a problem there, and the problem is a lack of respect for women, right? That could lead down an awful road. That could go from a lack of, woman respect, being a respect problem to an OJ problem real quick. So, I'm joking there, but I am serious. You nip this in the bud. They're probably fully prepared knowing that appeal's going to come, right? I expect this to get cut in half at 3 games. Right? Still a significant slap on the wrist without the funds you're making those 3 games. Just the shock of getting the 6th game could be enough to wake up this guy, and hopefully it does.
It should.
It should. I mean, you make an even better point. I didn't even think about it in those terms. That you just gave him a 6-game suspension more as just the shock value of it more than it actually going to be a 6-game suspension. That's a very good point. And I hope it does wake him up. I actually expect it to only be a 2-game suspension personally. That's why I'm saying I would take him. Late first, second round because I don't expect the suspension to even be half.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Doug on that as far as where he's going to go in drafts. Late first round, early second round. People are still going to go after him. He's still going to have a ton of value because he's going to go out there and he's still going to perform. He's still going to put up the numbers that everybody expects him to.
Yeah, I mean, you saw what Le'Veon Bell has done twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being suspended earlier in the year, obviously less than 6 games, but still through appeal got it less than 6 games and then got a 4-game to a 2-game last season, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still carries value because those games were served right in the beginning of the season. If this is a lengthy appeal process, obviously Ezekiel Elliott can play in the meantime until there's a final ruling.
Lane Johnson.
Right. Yeah. Perfect example. So now if, let's say this appeal goes down and they only cut it down to 5 games, and now this is from week 7 to week 12, that's a huge difference when it comes to fantasy football because then you take a guy that very much stash worthy for mid-season on into the fantasy football playoffs. Now it's a guy that you've just wasted a high draft pick on because he's doing you no good in the fantasy football playoffs.
Yeah. Right.
Very true. I mean, I didn't even look at it that way.
Yeah. No, that is a very good point.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation with Zeke here, but yeah, I'm sure his suspension will be cut down. I think everybody is kind of expecting that, but if it isn't, then there is some worrying to do,
There is some worrying to do, but to Rob's point, even like I'll take losing Zeke from week 7 to 12. I'll take that 6-game block because guess what? I should have, with Zeke the first 6 games, I should have been able to. I should have been able to at least win a few of those matchups and get myself into a decent enough record position that the rest of my draft, based on having him, should be able to carry me through to a playoff run with Zeke coming back.
Unless you were me last year, started off 4-1 and finished 6-7.
Yeah.
When your team gets the injury bug, then you're really screwed.
That's true.
And then it's really gonna hurt not having Zeke.
Then it's gonna then you're really gonna be kicking yourself. I mean that's the same situation that happened to me last year. I was top of the leaderboard. I'm looking down at everybody. A couple injuries away. There's Bilal Powell, who, did great for me in the playoffs, but, wasn't enough to get it done. But, I mean, it's just the free agency is going to be scarce, especially for the running back position. So,
yeah, it's a lot. Too many tandems, not enough lead guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into that, guys. So, final say, where are you drafting Zeke, Doug?
First round.
First round still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say late first, mid second.
Late first, mid second. Brian?
I'm with Mikey. Late first, mid second.
Yeah. I think it depends on what part of the month you're drafting in. If you're drafting in this week, I think you can get away, draft him in the 3rd round. And it absolutely being a steal for later on in the season. But once we know what the appeal is going to be one way or the other, then, you're in a 12 to 16 team league. I definitely early second. But if you're anything less than that, I think you can get a mid-second, much like you gentlemen said. We'll go to the Facebook. We got Greg Milakovic saying, should he third or fourth? Will he late first, early second? Still can't deny the talent. It'd be like Bell from last year, which we talked about.
I'm pretty sure Bell in my one league did end up going second round too.
Right.
So
Bell in most of my leagues was either kept or was drafted first round.
Yeah. Still
Absolutely.
got the talent. So
Jeff Kuhn chimes in and says, I say he still goes in first round, top 6 or 8.
I'd see that. I can buy that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's in congruence to what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, like, because I'm currently in a couple leagues, I sit with a mid-tier pick. And in one league, I actually can draft Ezekiel Elliott. I probably will draft Ezekiel Elliott, actually. Like, not for nothing, because, like, that league, is a one-keeper league. I already kept DeMarco Murray.
Oh, you're set up for success. You're going to have a good year. A lot of people chiming in about Derrick Henry taking away touches from him. He will, but not yet.
He will, but
I think DeMarco's too much of a
I don't
threat
think
now.
like significantly.
Right.
You know?
More importantly, not the money zone touches, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean the touchdown touches.
I think we got that. No.
Hey, man, some people don't know.
What's the money zone?
So let's see where he falls into our rankings, gentlemen. Let's talk about our running back PPR rankings, which is being brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants. Give them a call, schedule an appointment, 215-369-3300. Tax season is all year round with Gibson Mayer LLC. Let's see here. So why don't we'll talk like our top 10, expand upon that from there just to make sure we at least give all of our top 10s. I'll start it off at number 10. I got Melvin Gordon. Number 9, I got Marshawn Lynch. The beast mode is back in a good situation in Oakland. I got Leonard Fournette all the way up to 8. I just think because of what you guys said in terms of very few line share guys, he's going to be the line share. He's going to get a bulk of the touches. We've talked about that on the show before. Carlos Hyde at 7, Jordan Howard at 6, Devontae Freeman at 5, just strong PPR value. Even though they did change the offensive line blocking scheme now that Kyle Shanahan is now in San Francisco, it doesn't suit Devontae Freeman's running style, but it's going to set him up for a lot of catches out of the backfield. So Tevin Coleman, keep an eye on him as well. I wouldn't mind owning both of these guys on the same team.
Right.
4, the aforementioned DeMarco Murray. That's why I jumped on that bandwagon when you were saying that. I am high on DeMarco this year. Number 3 is a guy that I'm only higher on. The other 2 are just obvious. But the only guy I have higher than DeMarco Murray on my hot list is LaShawn McCoy. He is going to tear it up this year. Mike Gillisley, who took touches away from him, is now a Patriot. It just everything's setting up for what they're doing there offensively, setting up. Now, will it be an injury situation with LaShawn that seems to be an every year occurrence? He stays healthy for 16 games. He has a shot at number 1. I really do, in PPR leagues specifically, not so much standard.
Yeah, he does get a lot of receptions, so
right.
You got to look at it that way too.
Absolutely. I got your boy Le'Veon Bell at number 2. I got David Johnson 1. That could go either way.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have the Bell and then DJ too. I ain't hating on you.
All right.
They have to be your 1 and 2s in PPR.
Yeah.
Have to.
Have to be,
I
right?
think they have to.
Right. Especially either one of them can go for the elusive 1,000.
One of them I think has to be possible this year.
Right.
One of them.
I think it's going to be DJ, to be honest with you.
DJ had a lot more receptions, and, you know, I know they both had injuries last year as well, but I think, you know,
it's just the size thing. You know, DJ's so big.
Well,
like,
and
he's
the
bigger.
thing is, too, with the Cardinals' offense, I think they're going to rely so much more heavily on him than they will their wide receivers. I know they still got Larry Fitz there, and I think he's going to have another great season as well. But
not so fast.
I mean,
friend.
he's going for another 100 yards or 100 receptions, just throwing it out there. But
not so fast, my friend.
it's okay. He might be old, but he still got it.
Oh no, he still got it.
But yeah, I think DJ would be the 1 out of the 2, just because he's more healthier, and you know the check downs from Palmer, I think is
Oh no, I
going to be more than Le'Veon. I mean, I think the wide receiver core in Pittsburgh is a lot better than the wide receiver core with Arizona. So.
Oh no, you're 100% right.
So there's going to be
1000%.
more check downs to DJ.
Not even check downs though. I mean, this guy actually runs routes. Like he's probably one of the best route runners on the team, and he's your starting tailback. So he's just a special talent in that regard. But no, I couldn't agree with you more. He's going to be the it's his like title to take, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I want to see it though, because it's been a while. I think Marshall Faulk was the last running back to do that, the 1,000 season.
I couldn't even tell you.
I believe it was Marshall Faulk on those great Rams teams. You know, greatest show on turf. I think he did it in '99, if I'm not mistaken. I think he went for 1,000.
See, I was 4.
Yeah.
I don't have those numbers in my head.
I don't know. Hey, Rob, would you mind looking that up for me real quick, brother?
As an older gentleman, I can say that I don't remember either because I'm older and I don't remember. Who am I looking up?
Marshall.
Marshall Faulk. I just want to know because I believe it was him that was the last 1,000 back. I believe so.
Very well could be. He was a beast.
He was a beast.
Absolute beast.
Truth.
Truth be told. You waiting on the answer?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I got to look this up quick.
Oh, yeah. I'm putting you on the spot, bro.
99. Yeah, he had you said 99, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he had 1,381 rushing yards, 1,048 passing yards. So it's not like he just got it. I'm
standing up. You guys can't see it, but I'm standing up and clapping right now because that's impressive.
Yes, it is.
That's absolutely impressive.
Now, I don't know if that was the last time that it was done, but I believe I've heard that somewhere as well.
But that's a good call. That's a good call.
Yeah, man. I watched it. I watched it live. I was like, wow. It just amazed me. Even though I'm a diehard 49ers fan, I cannot stand the Rams. St. Louis, L.A., Chicago, wherever the hell they play. I hate the Rams, bro. But I had to respect that team because that was just an unbelievable show they put on week in and week out.
Greatest show on turf. No, that was the other team.
That's the greatest show. That was the greatest show on turf. Oh, my God.
I'm doing so many things at once right now, people.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Right on. So who do you guys got at your top 10? Who do you want to expand upon? Because there's definitely some guys I want to expand upon, but I don't want to cut into your basic time to give the peoples what they need.
I'll shoot through mine real quick. At 10, I have Lamar Miller. At 9, I have Todd Gurley. At 8, I have Jay Ajayi. At 7, I have Melvin Gordon. I'm high on Gordon, but these other backs above him are just going to be unbelievable this year. At 6, I have Shady. I think he has a big-time year, LaShawn McCoy. At 5, I have DeMarco Murray. At 4, I have Jordan Howard. I think he's also a guy who could potentially go for 1,000. He's a dark horse. He's that kind of good. At 3, I have Devontae Freeman. At 2, I got DJ. And at 1, I got Le'Veon Bell.
Nice. I got a little older. I mean, I'm a little higher on LaShawn than you are, but, I mean, you still have him, in your top 6?
Yeah. I have him at 6, yeah.
Gurley. And I'm not hating on you. I didn't happen to throw him in my top 10, but I think he's a big candidate for a bounce-back season, especially what they're doing around him.
Right, that's why I have him at 9 because of what they did around him.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. I got him at 9 as well.
Nice. Rock on.
We're together.
I like it. I'm not alone in this.
For my top 10, I am still going to throw Zeke in the top 10 because I think if he still does play 10 games, I still think he could run for 1,000 yards. I mean, he averaged, 104 last year a game. So I could see him doing it again. He's going to bounce back. He's going to have a lot of energy when he comes back.
Sure.
And this is a 6-game suspension if, the stats that I have written down. So, I mean, if it's 3-4, it's going to be even higher. So, anyway, to go with that, Zeke number 10. I got, like I said, Todd Gurley at 9. I got Jordan Howard at 8. 7, Jay Ajayi. 6, DeMarco Murray. 5, Melvin Gordon. 4, I got Shady. 3, I got Devontae. 2, I got Bell. And 1, I got DJ.
Not bad. I mean, the 1 and 2 are kind of interchangeable. It doesn't really matter.
You could go back and forth. And, I wasn't trying to be a homer. So I went with DJ number 1.
That's all right. I'll do it for you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, you guys can't see it, but I got the brown jersey on today. So you know where that's going.
That's brown?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's their color scheme. I thought it was always black and gold.
No.
They do have an off brown, huh? Oh, interesting. You learn something new every day.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Oh.
Not my brown jersey. Come on.
Duh. Proceed.
So on that note, I think I'm going to give my top 10 real quick.
Woo!
So number 10, I have Todd Gurley. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on Todd Gurley having a comeback year. Number 9, I think I'm the only one that has this guy here, is Isaiah Crowell.
Not so fast.
I mean, he's a sneaky play. I think he's more of a sleeper.
I have him somewhere pretty close.
Number 8, I have Jay Ajayi. Number 7, I have Jordan Howard. Number 6, I have Devonta Freeman. Number 5, I have DeMarco Murray. Number 4, I have LaShawn McCoy. Number 3, I'm really high on Melvin Gordon this year. I think he's going to come back. He's going to have a tremendous year. They have a lot of receivers in San Diego or Los Angeles now.
No, it's still San Diego. You were right the first time.
Okay.
Their name says Los Angeles.
I don't care.
They
were
probably
right the first time.
I think Melvin Gordon's going to have a build off of the tremendous year that he had last year, and I think his numbers are going to be way better because he's going to play a full year. Number 2, I have DJ. Number 1, I have Le'Veon Bell.
I like it. I mean, of course, I'm happy with you saying Bell number 1.
To me, Bell is number 1. I don't think there's anybody better.
Now, why? I'm curious. Why Crowell at 9? I mean, I like it. Like, I buy it, but why?
There's just really no weapons in Cleveland anymore, and he's the only one that's been effective so far, in my opinion, at least in the last couple years.
I have him at 11. I have him a couple spots lower, not much.
They've been saying that the Browns' offensive line is one of the most underrated offensive lines as well. So
right.
I could see him going for 1,200.
And it's his starting running back spot to lose now. So, I mean, he's going to be that sneaky play.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to PPR leagues, Duke Johnson could take some of that flavor away because that's really the only value that Duke Johnson has. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Duke Johnson's dead to me. I will never own Duke Johnson. He's dead to me.
You toted him for years, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Years you were on Duke Johnson.
I know. And he just flamed out faster than Abdullah on Detroit, you know. But Crowell is just set up for success again right now. They've really bolstered that offensive line. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, I think they were ranked the 3rd or 4th best offensive line in the league. Their blocking scheme really sets up well for Crowell to have a dynamite year this year. So, you're in a 12-team league. Will he go in the first round in a PPR league? No. Right? In a standard league, maybe. Right? But he's definitely one of your top 12 running backs to draft despite the league, and I think he could still have good PPR value as well.
Oh, yeah, I think he'll be a really good, solid late second-round pick for anybody.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably even stretch him down a little further than that because most people are just going to see Cleveland and not want to touch him.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's only, I would say, for touchdown purposes is the only thing that would probably scare me for Crowell. But other than that, I mean, I think he's –
I think that offensive line does enough for that, though. That offensive line's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know, but just overall as a team, how much are they really going to stretch the field and get down there enough to actually score touchdowns? I mean, listen, the Browns, I'm going to give them 4 wins this year. I think they could win 4 games, but
don't disrespect my man. Listen, Hugh Jackson's a great coach.
He's a great coach, but every time he does
so underrated
play the role of head coach, he's won like 10 games.
That's hold on. You got to look at what he did. You got to look at what he did in the half season at Oakland that he was there. He did an excellent job there in Oakland for being an interim head coach.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach because I think he's a great coach. He's obviously been with some shitty teams, but I mean, hey. That's 4 games. I mean, that's a hell of a lot better than last year.
Honestly, I think they're a sneaky playoff contender. I think they're 8-8 this year. Yeah, don't sleep,
man. I'm gonna go 8-8.
And it's not because of the offense. That defense is legit.
Yes,
don't
they
sleep
got a good
on that
passing
defense.
defense.
And it got even better this offseason.
Yeah, it really did. That's why I'm saying 8-8, and that's why I'm saying they're a sneaky team because they can run the ball and they can stop the run and they can get after.
And I was right, 3rd best offensive line in football.
I could still name
now.
3 teams in our division that's better than them, and that's the rest of the teams in the division.
That's not true. I think they're almost. I think they're on par right now with where Cincinnati is talent-wise. And I think they're on par with Baltimore. It actually might even be slightly ahead of Baltimore because I think they took a step back from last year. Don't sleep, man. I'm telling you.
I'm not, man. Like I said, I'm giving them 4 times what they won last year.
Hey, man, I'm just saying they're a competitive team, bro.
No, listen, they are a better team, and they are going to be a sneaky team, but I don't see them as a sneaky sleeper, like, playoff team.
No, they're not making playoffs, but they're going to be like 8-8. Like I
Right on the
see
cusp.
8-8. Yeah.
I could buy that, man. Adding J.C. Tredier and Kevin Zeitler to that offensive line. Joe Thomas stays in town, trying to build this up, and he's arguably maybe like the third, fourth offensive lineman in the National League, in the National Football League. Going to a zone blocking scheme too is going to be a lot easier of task assignment for each offensive line member. And getting back to where we started here with Isaiah Crowell. And I think he could tear it up with a zone blocking scheme.
He's got the running style for it. That's definitely something we can all agree on. And he will have a good year. I have him ranked 14th personally. And I think he's going to have a very good year, despite the fact that he's not going to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield.
Where do you have Zeke in terms of your overall rankings? Do you have top 20? Does he fall out of the top 20?
I think I'm the only one that didn't have him in the top 10, right?
I didn't have him in the top 10.
Oh, you didn't have him in the top 10 either? Where do you have him?
I have him in the top 15.
Yeah.
So do I. I actually have him at 12.
But I just want to see if he can, even with the suspension, if he can, put up the same numbers that he put up last year.
Right.
I want to see a little bit of consistency with him.
In a PPR league, I'll throw him 18, given what we know now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I put him at 12, just based on just a 6-game suspension. It doesn't move. I have him at 12.
Right. Absolutely. Any other parting shots for some running backs you want to give before we go pay some bills?
I mean, if we want to go ahead to rookies, look at Leonard Fournette. He's obviously minus his foot injury right now. Here we go with another top 5 running back with a leg injury. So
it was going to be a concern. He's had some problems in college.
Watch his foot. He's definitely a guy looking at the draft. He's definitely got to be their starter there. Another guy in Dalvin Cook as well. I think he's going to be great out of the backfield as well. I think he could take that job from Latavius.
And don't forget about Christian McCaffrey. I think he's ideal for PPR leagues.
Agreed on Cook.
I'm right there with you on McCaffrey. McCaffrey, I have him.
He looked good.
I have him at 20.
It's preseason and they're going against their second and thirds, but he did look pretty solid.
Yeah. No, I saw a practice clip where he literally shook Luke Kuechly out of his shoes in a break. He made that boy look like he didn't know what he was doing. That was bad.
Yeah.
He's got moves to pay the bills. I got him at 25 in a PPR league. I think his value takes a big hit down in standard leagues, but that's what we're talking about, PPR leagues. I'm just a little unsure about which way that's going to go. How much are they going to use him because their offensive coordinator is a fucking idiot. So they don't use anybody the way they should be. Dalvin Cook, just to back – I'm being bowed to over here. Hey, that's what we do, real talk. We say it how it is.
I've been preaching this for years, man. Thank you.
But I got Dalvin Cook at 17, and I think he has a real legitimate shot at being that lion's share running back, which is few and far between in this league, as you said before, Doug. Right. Whether that happens this season, I'm not going to say with a certain confidence there, but I think it very well could, because you're going against Latavius Murray, who's been injury prone. You got Jerick McKinnon and Matt Asiata, who are non-factors in this equation as far as I'm concerned. Right? I think Dalvin Cook has a world of talent, and he's going to a good setup up there. One guy I'm down on, I normally have Spencer Ware in my top 10, but I actually have him at 15 in a PPR league, and I think I might even be ranking him too high. There's just a lot of competition there for touches. Right? Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see, and I think you're right. You're in the right track there. I actually don't even have him in my top 20 in my PPR league, and that's saying a lot. But I do think that Kareem Hunt takes a lot of those touches, especially those passing down touches away.
He's another guy that they've said has been looking real good.
He's special, bro. He is special.
Well, hey, for our full list, hit us up on Twitter, #AskFDN. We'll get you, break it down. If you're in an extremely 15, 16-team league, man, we'll go 32, we'll go 48 deep, no problem. And this is all being brought to you by Soap Stash, the new soap standard, reminding you to treat your skin with the best nutrients and feel clean with the only soap you'll need. They use the highest grade carrier oils, and they ingrain them in all of their products, which are 100% natural. Contact Soap Stash today for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. Call them 844-890-3197. Look them up online, soapstash.com. And for ordering information, specials, and to order right through Messenger, get it on your doorstep in a couple of days. Hit them up on Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. They are the new soap standard. On the other side, the cream, the crux, the wide receivers of the PPR leagues. This is Fantasy Dominance Now here on A2DRadio.com.
Woo!
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com, powered by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call, 856-889-3434. Look them up online, scanzanosports.com. Come get your game in shape. Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkoff back in the house, Doug Pitchford, yours truly, Rob Povey, and Matt Sudi, bringing you all the dominance from the production chair. And if you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search a2dradio.com. If you got fantasy questions, tweet at us with the hashtag AskFDN. Getting to a few more comments coming in. We got Vinny Massington going, 6 games is half of a season. Throw in his bye week, and you don't have him for 7 weeks. That can cost you the playoffs easily. Tough call, but you need running backs to start and play. I'd let someone else grab him. So he's passing on them altogether.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all.
Yeah.
It's a smart move.
But, we were just given the question, where would we draft him if we could?
Right.
So, I mean, to pass on him, I would probably pass on him as well because I'd be too scared for 7 weeks to not have a running back.
I'm a little hesitant to do so because 2 years ago I passed on Bell where I could have had him.
True,
and
but
I regretted that decision.
But we weren't looking at 6 games.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
it wasn't 6. You're right.
So
you're right.
And technically 7 weeks. So
right. But I mean, Jeff Kuhn goes. Comes back in on the Facebook here comments. He's going to appeal, which then I think will end up being just a 4-game suspension. Just basing that off previous players' appeals on a first infraction because it is a first infraction. And was it even really an infraction when the chick outright
when the
lied?
DA cuts it off and says there's nothing here in the NFL.
She wanted to ruin his career, and she did. But there's
Yeah.
a reason. There's a reason for that, and I'm not letting him off the hook. You know,
Something
you
happened.
disrespect a woman,
Yeah.
well, there's hell to be scorned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it pays just to have class, especially when you're a professional athlete and the microscope is on you.
Look at Derek Jeter. Why do we not hear about any of this shit with Derek Jeter? He's banged thousands of hoes.
Right.
Like, let's be real here.
Right.
He's banged thousands of hoes. But Derek Jeter's got class.
Right. He treats him well. He gives him a nice fruit basket on the way out.
Yeah.
He really does. He gives him like a part. He gives him like some gift bag and shit that's got like an autograph,
Here.
like picture, a ball, and some other shit.
Here's a gold watch worth about $15K. Here you go.
Actually, no, there is a watch in the bag. Some
Oh,
chick,
you've seen the bag.
Some chick actually posted the bag. Yeah, some chick posted
Oh,
the bag
my
on
God.
fucking the internet and shit. And of course there is a It's a non-disclosure agreement.
Yep.
Well, I feel like if you're a professional athlete, that needs to be a thing anyway.
Damn right.
Yeah, I think so, too. Absolutely think so.
Got to protect yourself, man.
So let's talk some wide receivers here, boys. I went real deep, obviously, for the wide receiver position. So I'm going to give, let's see here. I'm going to run through 32 real quick. Just real quick, right off the top, I'll just go through the names. I don't want to bore anyone, but I do want to give this full list. At 32, I got Corey Davis. 31, Stephon Diggs. 30, Brandon Marshall. Not as high on him as other people are. 29, I got Emmanuel Sanders. 28, I got Javaris Landry. 27, Terrell Pryor. Devontae Parker, 26. Brandon Cooks at 25. Dante Moncrief at 24. Allen Robinson at 23. Yes, he will come back this year, folks.
Yes, my dude.
Now in Los Angeles, Sammy Watkins in a trade, which really shocked the world. That was just one of the more shocking days in football.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it really was. A lot of stuff going on. He slots in at 22 because I think, it's going to be the same situation they had in Buffalo where, Robert Woods is probably the most pissed off man in the world because he's like, oh, maybe I got a shot at number 1. Oh, no, I got the other guy that I had to battle with in Buffalo back on the same squad again. I got Pierre Garçon. We were talking about him before the show. I got him at 21. Golden Tate, I have at 20. Larry Fitz, I got at 19. Keenan Allen, I have at 18. Devontae Adams, I have at 17. I think the touchdowns will go down. There's no way he can keep up that insane pace from last year. But last season, there was 3 sets of teammates who all finished in the top 20 last season in PPR format. One of them was Devontae Adams and Jordy Nelson, who I have on my list. Where is he at again? I'm skipping ahead. I have him at number 7. So I wouldn't mind grabbing both of those guys because I think that whole offense is just going to be absolutely dynamite this year. Going back to where I was, 16, I got Julian Edelman. 15, I got new Philadelphia Eagles product, Alshon Jeffrey. 14, I got Michael Crabtree. 13, I got Demaryius. 12, I got Doug Baldwin. 11, I got T.Y. Hilton. Not going to hate you if you hate on me for having him so high because Andrew Luck, you were saying it before, Mike. I don't know if you want to address it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just his shoulder concerns and all of his other injuries. I mean, he's the new Ben Roethlisberger, really.
Right.
He's been one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league in the past couple of years, and injury concerns scare me. Therefore, Ty is not going to get so many touches.
Right.
But I still I have him number 10, so we're close.
Yeah.
You have him 11, I have him 10.
It's so their wide receivers are so contingent upon the quarterback more so than any team.
And it just scares me with Andrew Luck. And if Andrew Luck plays 16 games, he's probably top 6.
The owner's saying that he's going to be off the PUP list and ready for week 1, we'll have to say.
I don't think he'll be off the PUP list and ready for week 1, but I honestly don't think that matters in Ty's value.
Yeah.
He's proven that before when Andrew Luck was injured that he can still be a highly productive receiver in this league, over 1,000 yards, even with Andrew Luck missing most of a season 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Led the NFL last year in receiving yards, and Andrew Luck missed, about 5 games? 4 games?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I don't think that his production matters, especially in a PPR league where he's going to be force-fed the ball, being that number 1 guy, and the fact that he runs a lot of underneath routes anyway. I have him in the top 5, personally. I still have him because he led the league in yards last year. He's going to be right there this year, in my opinion. Doesn't matter whether Luck plays 16 or 12.
A lot of catches for that PPR league. You make a great point.
But does he have Kaepernick's dead arm? That's the only thing I'm going
Hey,
with.
man, Kaepernick doesn't have a dead arm, bro. I mean, 16-4 last year. Come on, man. 16-4 touchdown to interception ratio. Come on, man.
What was the record last year?
That he had no talent and was 16-4 touchdown to interception ratio. You put him on Indianapolis, I guarantee you those numbers are way higher.
I'm just
Come
trying
on,
to
man.
burst your bubbles because you guys had the 2nd overall pick.
Oh, I know, and we did the best thing we could have done.
No, you guys
maybe.
had a great draft.
Exactly.
No,
Like, I'm good with it.
Rattle through my top 10 real quick. I got DeAndre Hopkins at 10, Amari Cooper 9, Des Bryant 8, Jordy Nelson I said at 7, Michael Thomas at 6. I'm definitely going after Michael Thomas this year, being the clear number 1 in New Orleans.
I'll buy that for $1.
AJ Green at 5, Odell Beckham 4, Mike Evans 3, another guy. If I can get Michael Thomas and Mike Evans together, man, I'm set. That's a win. Just give me the championship trophy now. Number 2, Julio Jones, because size does matter, and he can go up and get the ball. Both Jones and Evans, touchdowns, chicks dig them. And number 1, your boy Antonio. Yes, I did put Antonio ahead of Julio.
High five. Very
He
nice.
worked on me. I'm getting it now.
You have to, man. You have to.
The numbers are just too big.
Absolutely.
It
So-
is.
That's what she
So
said.
I just wanted to give a broader spectrum than we did with the running back, since this is PPR league. You guys can feel free to cover who you want, run down your list, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I stuck with the top 10.
Yep.
So
Go ahead. You go on yours then.
All right, I'll go then. And like I said before, I have Ty at 10, only because of Andrew Luck's arm, and it scares me. But other than that, like I said before, I'm throwing Ty in my top 6, easy. Brandon Cooks, I know you were a little bit lower on him, but I'm a little bit higher on him. I think his yardage will go up, and maybe a couple more touchdowns this year. I have Brandon Cooks at 9, Amari Cooper at 8, AJ Green at 7. Only my concerns because of the injury last year. I think the offense is probably going to be a little bit better. Little Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield is going to spread it open a little bit. 6, I'm with you, Michael Thomas. 5, that's where I have Jordy Nelson. 4, I have Julio. 3, I have Mike Evans. 2, I have OBJ. And 1, I have Brown.
See,
Not bad.
I'm not hating on you with Cooks. I mean, a world of talent. I just think it's a little high because you never know who's going to get usage on the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
It's so hard to predict.
I agree with you 100%. But he's the ideal fit for that offense. We talked about this before. Like, I see Brandon Cooks in that offense. I see Wes Welker. We know what Wes Welker's usage was, and that's what I see when Brandon Cooks in that offense. I see Wes Welker, and I see Edelman going back to being that secondary option he was with Welker.
Really?
Yeah.
You
So
see Cooks going more over the middle in the slot?
Oh, absolutely, because he's got the speed.
Well,
And it's
I would
underneath.
figure they would move Edelman towards the slot at that point. I feel like Edelman's more that quicker,
Not at this stage in his career, no. I
No.
would have to say.
I
Cooks
mean,
is the
I'm not
burner.
high. I'm not too high on Edelman this year. He had 3 touchdowns last season. So I mean, and now you're adding Dwayne Allen and Brandon Cooks to your team, and Gronk gonna hopefully have a full. Well, I don't say hopefully because I wish nothing but the worst for the Patriots. But for fantasy's sake, I would hope that Rob Gronkowski has a great season. There's nothing to hate about the guy. So.
Nah, he's an animal.
Yeah.
I love
One of the
him.
most, one of the most energetic people I've ever seen. You know, he's great.
Who might love Demi Lovato more than me?
Yeah, right.
That's hard to beat.
I didn't think that was possible, that there was a man that could love Demi Lovato more than you.
I love her so much.
I've seen it, though. I saw the Gronk eyes.
You saw the Gronk eyes, yeah.
Gronk-like.
Well,
Gronk smash.
well, much like an Eric Cordell system, right? They run the spread offense, and because of Belichick within that spread, you could have a guy go off for like 13 catches, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns one week, and then the next week have 3 catches for 40 yards.
Yeah.
That's the only concern that I have with Cooks this year.
I could understand
but
that.
I hear your point, though, too, man.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that with that offense because you saw it a lot with Edelman in the last couple of years. But, I mean, again, when you saw that offense with that Wes Welker there in that slot position, kind of just making defenders miss underneath, with Gronkowski pulling the linebackers away so he doesn't get killed, and the safeties pulling the safeties away so he doesn't get killed. Like, you saw how he just destroyed the middle of the football field. And
right.
I see Brandon Cooks doing the exact same thing. So I think he's easy 100 catches, 1,000, probably 1,200 yards. Like, just money.
Bon.
Bong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anybody that's catching Tom Brady pass is going to be, catching money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, real quick, I have a full 32 list as well. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to rattle mine off real fast. At 32, I have Tyrell Williams, San Diego Chargers. I will never call them the L.A. At 31, I have Sammy Watkins. At 30, I have Stephon Diggs. At 29, I have Jarvis Landry. At 28, I have a guy I don't think he's really been mentioned much, Tyreek Hill. I love this kid, especially in the PPR league.
Yes, sir. That's a good point. I left him off, but I shouldn't have.
At 27, I have Julian Edelman because I still think he's going to put up some type of usable numbers, at least in PPR. At 26, I have Emmanuel Sanders. At 25, I have Jamison Crowder. At 24, I have Willie Snead. I love this kid this year. Like, listen, Oppo of Michael Thomas. Granted, Michael Thomas is going to get a lot of the touchdown catches. I think Willie Snead gets a majority of the actual receptions. I think Willie Snead gets about 90 receptions this year.
Big boost in PPR leagues.
Huge boost in PPR, especially with all those Brandon Cooks catches no longer there.
I did just leave him off.
Yeah, just
Tyreek Hill. I had a 33 just outside my 32.
Where was I at? At 23, I got Brandon Marshall. At 22, I got Michael Crabtree. I think that Oakland offense is going to be big this year. At 21 is where I have the new Philly sensation, Alshon Jeffrey. At 20, I have Calvin Benjamin because I do believe that Calvin Benjamin can still be an effective receiver in this league, even though he looks like Cheeseburger Eddie.
Yeah, my man got fat. I saw that one picture. My man got fat.
Like, bro, he looked like he ate like himself.
It looked like he ate cheeseburger Eddie.
Seriously, bro.
He turned into a tranny-looking Queen Latifah.
He's now a tight end, so maybe he might be top 5 tight end player.
At 19, I got Devontae Adams. At 18, I got Golden Taint. At 17, I got Keenan Allen. And this is really speculative. He could easily be like top 10, top 12.
Healthy plays 16 games.
Exactly.
Yep, agreed.
It's really it right there. At 16, I have Terrell Pryor. Only reason he's not higher is because I think a lot of the guys ahead of him are just going to be huge this year. At 15, I have AR-15, Allen Robinson. I think he has a huge bounce-back year. At 14, I have DeAndre Hopkins. And trust me, he will be higher by the end of the year because he actually has a quarterback. At 13, I have Demaryius Thomas. At 12, I have Amari Cooper. At 11, I got my namesake, my boy Dougie Baldwin. At 10, I have Dez. At 9, I have Jordy Nelson. 8's where I have Michael Thomas. 7 is where I have Brandon Cooks. And I wish I could have put him higher, but I couldn't. At 6, I have A.J. Green. At 5, like I said before, I have T.Y. Hilton. At 4, I got OBJ. And then my 3 through 1 is the same as Rob's, Mike Evans, Julio, and, of course, 8B.
Does Mike Evans have a shot to be number 1?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
I think he does.
I mean, he out-yarded Antonio last year and almost receptions. He was only 10 away from matching him. He had more touchdowns.
Because everything I've been reading right now is just causing me to draft, to stack Winston and Mike Evans. It's just
that offense is going to fire.
It's not a bad idea because, like Mike said, he out-yarded AB with 10 less receptions. Imagine what he would have done if he had those 10 other receptions.
Right. Imagine if he didn't have the dropsies, though. That's
true,
part of
too.
the package that comes with Mike Evans.
That's
That's
true,
fine,
too.
though, but 12 touchdowns,
you'll take that.
96 receptions with 1,300 yards,
I'm telling
I'll
you.
take the
all
draft.
day.
Listen,
All day.
I might be drafting him 10 overall in my PPR
I
league.
did a mock draft. I drafted him with the 7th overall pick.
Yeah.
I did.
That's not. Hey, listen, it's not a bad way to go. Like I said, I mean, he's top 3 easy. Could easily be 1. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong there.
Truth be told.
Even with regression, it's still 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You can almost pencil
You just
it
don't
in.
want,
Yeah.
what was it, his 2015 year, he had like 2 touchdowns. That's the season you don't want. But then again, that was rookie year for Winston, right? 15?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. Yeah, so. Yeah, that was his rookie year.
Yeah.
So,
I like Evans this year, though, definitely.
I
Oh, yeah.
And it was tough for me to put him over Julio, but again, my famous words are injuries, and Julio scares me with that. Even though he could bust out, we saw a 300-yard game from him last year, so you never know. You never know.
It was insane.
Yeah,
That game was insane.
Even with the injuries, you still have Julio Jones. He's a top 5 threat.
Easy,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's Julio.
It's apples and apples. Like, if you have any
Yeah.
one of those top, 4 guys, you're Gucci.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good.
But is it a gala apple?
Mm,
That's my favorite.
I like Honeycrisp. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Honeycrisp guy?
Yeah.
Nah, you got to give me a Granny Smith's, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kick it old school.
I
Yeah.
work in the produce department, man. I love my apples.
I used to like the green apples, the Granny Smiths or whatnot, but for me it's gala, maybe even a nice little pink lady once in a while.
Yes, pink ladies are beautiful.
Who doesn't like a big lady? Come on now.
I don't like a big lady.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Like a pink lady.
On that note.
Yes.
All right, so here's my top 10. I got, surprisingly, I think Alshon Jeffrey's going to flourish in this Philly offense, finally
Agreed.
having a quarterback to throw to him. Number 9, I have Des Bryant. Number 8, I have Michael Thomas. Number 7, I'm with Doug 100%. This is where Brandon Cooks is going to be. Number 6, I have Jordy Nelson. Number 5 is A.J. Green. And 4, just like I feel like the rest of you guys, I got Mike Evans at 4, Julio at 3, Odell at 2, and AB at 1.
Oh, so you value Odell a little bit higher than what I've been hearing in on my list or whatnot. You don't think having like Brandon Marshall maybe cuts down his production a little bit?
No, I think it's going to push him even more.
Yeah.
I mean,
It does, but I feel like that's going to open him up a lot more.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah, I mean, even on top of it, you see some of the catches that he's pulling down in practice. He's not going to have the slow start that he had last year.
It's not going to matter. Oh, my God. Did you see that catch he made yesterday?
Disgusting.
Bro, he backhand, oppo hand, like.
Across
no.
of his
That's why I
defender's
laugh.
face.
That's why I laugh when he drops stuff in games. Because this guy's a jackass and does all this shit for show, and then he drops balls in games. I'm like, get out of here, you clown.
Well, there's a restriction on the stickum that you can wear in games. You know what I mean? You don't know how much he's got on those gloves. Let's see him pull off one of those catch barehanded.
Yeah.
Let's see if that happens.
I'm sure he's got big hands and could do it, but
Hey, leave Jefferson alone.
Definitely. But no, I couldn't agree with you more. I asked the question just to throw it out there. I think if anything, who's going to take a hit is Brandon Marshall. Coming on this team, a lot of people are high on him, but don't forget about Sterling Shepard, another good talent on this team that you need to feed the ball to. So this could be ultimately a curse of riches for the New York Giants, where none of the receivers are getting the ball as much as they want, and then it turns into a bitch fest.
yeah.
Here's to crossing fingers and hoping. You know
Sounds
what I mean?
like Pittsburgh a couple of years ago,
Didn't
right?
I
If I'm not
see
mistaken.
Sterling Shepard get hurt, though?
Yeah, ankle injury.
Yeah, he's got an ankle injury right now,
But-
so he's sidelined.
Yeah, but they said he should be ready to go week 1.
Right.
But the thing is, though, you said about Brandon Marshall taking a step down. Considering what his season was last season, it's going to be a step up.
Yeah.
I think last year he had 3 touchdowns under 1,000 yards. I think he could go over 1,000 yards and probably 6 or 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I actually think he's going to have an Eric Decker type year. Remember what he did with the Jets with Brandon Marshall a couple years ago with Fitzpatrick? Yeah. I think it'll be a Decker.
Well, they both had like 14 touchdowns. I don't see him having 14.
No, I see
just
him having
because
14.
I see the yardage actually not breaking 1,000.
No.
I see him topping out at about 900, 950, but the touchdowns go up.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Touchdowns
what I
have
could
to.
say.
Well, that's why
He's
I
a
said
6'4"
Decker,
wide
'cause-
receiver.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. because Decker had that year.
If you're a 6'4" wide receiver in the red zone, you're getting a touchdown.
Basically.
I mean, unless you're Dorial Green Beckham, of course,
Well, that's because he's got hands. He's Braylon Edwards.
He's got hands like butter.
No, he's got hands like Braylon Edwards, man. They're hands of stone.
Yeah. Just slip.
I think the best catch Braylon Edwards ever made was from his face mask.
Well, if you out there want to make a good catch, go down to the BMW of Atlantic City dealership. This month they challenged their sales team, and they must sell 100 vehicles, which means one thing: you save. Right now, lease a certified pre-owned elite 2017 BMW 320i with xDrive, just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience is much closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City, easy to get to, minutes off of exit 37 on the Garden State Parkway, or check them out online, BMWAtlanticCity.com. We've only just begun the party that is Fantasy Dominance Now, PPR League Rankings. We're going to get to tight ends. We're going to get to defensive, special teams, kickers, and we'll talk about maybe a little overall top 48, getting back to our poll question, which you can now vote on Twitter and Facebook. We'll get to those results at the end of the show. Keep it there, people.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to Hour 2 of Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com, being brought to you by the Sports Outlet. For all your sporting needs, give them a call, 856-939-2030, or look them up online, sportsoutletinc.com. Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkoff, Doug Pitchford, and yours truly, Rob Povia, Matt Sudi on the ones and twos, bringing you all the fantasy dominance. And one wide receiver I want to just give a little attention to before we move on to the end position is Will Fuller. He went down in camp and is likely out for a long time. He's actually expected to miss the next 2 to 3 months, which would put him on track to return anywhere from week 5 to week 8 if there aren't any setbacks. I know, Brian, this is a guy that you were very highly touting last year, and mostly because of Brock Osweiler, he disappointed.
Yeah.
What's your prognosis on him for this season?
With the injury?
Yeah. Do you absolutely stay away from him, on a fantasy perspective?
I mean, I don't think he'd be a bad stash in a keeper league, especially with the new quarterback situation they have going on. I think Deshaun Watson is going to take that spot. I think he's going to, starting next season, Will Fuller could be a legit threat.
Stash for a keeper, maybe even late season.
Yeah.
If Watson comes in game 3, game 4, something along that, or it's going to be later on in the season because they did announce that they're looking at Tom Savage as the number 1 to start the season. So that would give him time to develop and then, be right on par with Will Fuller coming back.
Right. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't think Savage is going to be the quarterback after week 2 or 3.
Right.
Hey, come on, man. Give Savage some love. Former Rutgers product.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not dissing the man, but like I said before on a previous show, you don't draft a quarterback in the first round for him not to start.
Right.
And that's just the way I see it. I think Savage will go down probably. I'm going to give him a little more. I think probably 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I give him about 6 games as well.
But then again, this guy could be lights out, and then we're saying who's Deshaun Watson.
Right, but we
won't be saying that.
No.
But eventually, that's just I think that's what everybody thinks. But you got to feel bad for the guy. I mean, everybody's just been dissing him. They're like, "Oh man, you're not a starting quarterback in this league."
Yeah.
But right now he is.
Yeah.
So
that's what I say. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Listen,
he's not a bad quarterback, man. He's been given no real opportunity. That team is not very. That offensive line
and they
has
looked
been terrible.
a lot better when he was in that offense than Osweiler. So
yeah.
Right.
I could look better than Osweiler.
You do. Talking about DeAndre Hopkins, we covered him in our top ranks, right? So beyond that, you're drafting today. Braxton Miller is an option. Jalen Strong is an option. Any of these guys are you drafting because of Will Fuller's injury?
Maybe Strong, but even still, he hasn't really shown that he's a solid receiver in the NFL either. So
Right.
I mean,
Nope.
it's a tough situation. I mean, outside of DeAndre Hopkins, there's no real threat. Maybe you look at a tight end option, but
Wait, is Braxton Miller still running back eligible as well? Because I know in some leagues he was running back receiver eligible.
I haven't looked, but I don't think so. I think he's purely wide receiver. He is having a very strong camp, though, and making a big statement, a big push to be the number 2.
I mean, maybe keep your eye on him.
I honestly, I wouldn't. There's only one Houston receiver I'm drafting. So,
yeah, I probably agree. Go Lamar Miller or DeAndre. The only two guys from that offense. Maybe Fedorowicz, right? He's still with the tight end. He's a pretty solid tight end as well.
He's somewhere in my top 20 for tight ends.
Yeah, he's got Ryan Griffin to counteract him too, or whatnot. I mean, I'm going with CJ over.
I would go Fedorowicz way before him, but
he's 6'8". How do you cover 6'8"?
You don't.
Right.
That's like I can't even tell you the kid's name. It's the Steelers undrafted free agent. I think he's 6'9" tight end.
Oh, I know the kid you're talking about. He's a monster, bro.
I can't think of his name.
He's got hands like trash cans, but I mean he's a monster.
But if you could come in and block and catch one ball a game, I mean, hey, we'll throw you in on that goal line.
I'm saying the outlaw Jesse James gonna have something to say about catching balls in the goal line.
Listen, he's the outlaw, man. He's our tight end right now.
I love that kid, man. I really do. He's gonna be a special one.
He's great. I like the kid. I really do. It's his job to lose. So
agreed.
Great segue into the tight end position, Mike. Why don't you give our top 10?
All right, number 10, only because of his season last year, but obviously his numbers are pretty solid, and if he has a full season, he could be a top 5 again, and that's Tyler Eifert. At number 9, I have Zach Ertz. Number 8, I got Martellus Bennett. I think he's actually a better fit with the Green Bay offense now. 7, I have Kyle Rudolph. We found out throughout the season that Bradford and him are a great duo. Last season he had 83 receptions. So
I'm very high on Kyle this year, man. He's just that steady, consistent tight end.
I don't think he'll match 83. I think he'd drop a little bit, but I could probably see his touchdowns going up a little bit.
Sure.
Delaney Walker's number 6 for me. Is a guy I always liked. At number 5, I have Jordan Reed, only because he's another injury guy. He's also got kicked out of a game last season as well, so he's a bit of a head case.
I like
Watch
that,
out
though.
for. I think he's he could be. I wrote it down to it could be higher, but he's a guy like right now. That's Cousins, man. That's his guy, but.
He's going to get force-fed the ball. We know that if healthy.
Yeah, I mean he could have 1,000-yard reception or 1,000-yard receiving year this year, but we'll see what happens in that situation. Number 4, I have Jimmy Graham. 3, I have Greg Olsen. 2, I have Travis Kelce, and number 1, obviously we got the Gronk, man.
Right. Smash.
Yeah.
Gronk smash. Gronk like cookie.
Yeah.
I love making fun of Rob Gronkowski, but that's only because Rob Gronkowski doesn't give a shit because Rob Gronkowski's awesome. I mean, he's just a really awesome dude. Like, it's all in fun and games.
Truth.
I don't know. Like I said, I went 20 deep. Brian, how far did you go down
10.
this rabbit hole?
I went 10.
You went 10? All right, well, if you don't mind, let me rattle off my diatribe of people. At 20, I actually have the ageless wonder, Antonio Gates.
He might be higher, honestly. He might be an honorable mention out of my top 10.
Honestly, normally he's in my top 10 always, all day. I love Antonio Gates.
The thing is, though, last year he was suspended for the first 4 games, and Hunter Henry came out of the woodworks, and he was amazing. But guess who's not there no more? And in Detroit is Hunter Henry.
And Hunter Henry, I have rated at 10 as well, ahead of Antonio Gates. So.
Yeah, like I said, I have him there as well.
That's Rivers' boy, man. You don't mess with Antonio and Rivers, bro.
Nah, but you know what? Hunter Henry's that guy now. I really do believe. I think the talent's there. In year 1, he's already showed that he can stay healthy and whatnot. And I just think that Gates is along for the ride at this point. And I think he understands he's along for the ride at this point. So I have him at 20, taking the step back. At 19, I got your boy, also the ageless one, Jason Witten. This man just won't die yet, and I see him having another solid year as always. At 18 is where I slot in Dwayne Allen. I think he's going to have a dynamite year playing second fiddle to Gronk. At 17, I have Cameron Brate. I think he's going to have a fabulous year, and the only reason I have him at 17 is because at 16 I have his teammate O.J. Howard.
I have him back-to-back in my rankings as well.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
I can't choose between the two.
I'm in love with that offense this year, and obviously Doug Martin's suspended for the first 3 games, so Jaquiz Rogers is another guy to look out for your first couple weeks. I mean,
especially PPR.
He might just take over that job, honestly.
I was about to say that.
He looked great last year, and he could do it again.
And more importantly, too, I mean, Doug Martin just has to stay with that consistency and get his head out of his ass. I mean, at this point, his antics and his silliness is about to cost him a job. Let's be real here. That's why I don't think we heard his name in anybody's top running back rankings at all, and there's a reason for that. That would probably be a good reason why. At 15 is where I slot in the Fedora man, C.J. Fedorowicz. At 14, I have Charles Clay. At 13 is actually where I have Hunter Henry because I do believe he's going to have a really big year and really take that step into emerging.
I thought he went to
player.
Detroit.
No,
he's still in LA.
That's why I was saying that, because the book that I had, they had a Detroit helmet next to his name.
Oh.
Somebody had a miss.
Error.
That's the only reason why I was higher on
Losers.
Gates.
That's all right.
Listen to us. Forget the magazines. But no, I'm with you, Doug. I think now, if you remember from last week, I actually had last show, I had Antonio Gates ahead of Hunter Henry in my pecking order because I still say he's the red zone tight end target. Not to say Hunter Henry didn't put the ball in the end zone, just based on what I'm reading, how this offense is going to go. Hunter Henry's going to be that pass receiver tight end, going to get a lot of catches during the drive, and then Antonio Gates vultures it, in a sense, for the tight end position. That's the way I see it.
I could see that. I mean, I see Hunter Henry getting a lot of those touchdowns, though. And then I also see Tyrell Williams having a big year with the touchdowns.
Sure.
I'm not a 1,000-yard receiver, per se, just because of the way the ball's going to get moved around. But definitely about 10 touchdowns out of that kid. You know, I could definitely see that regardless.
Diggs?
But, yeah, at 12, I have Julius Thomas. Everyone forgets about this man. But, he's going to have a big year. He's got a quarterback that can get him the football. You know, let's see what happens to him now down there in Miami. Unfortunately, it is Jay Cutler getting the football, but at least it's a quarterback with a decent enough arm to get him the football.
No, he's accurate within 10 yards.
I feel like Jay Cutler, he has a good relationship with his tight ends, so.
I mean, he also has a good relationship with defensive backs, but,
Well, that's true.
He's got a good relationship with that hot-ass wife of his, too. She's got the tightest end of all.
I don't know how tight it is anymore.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. What's her name? Kristen Cavalieri
or something like that.
Yeah.
Some C-list actress. I mean, she's hot. I mean, good for him, but she got no talent. Where was I? 12.
Perfect relationship.
Well, she just looks good, and he's an alright-looking dude. So they're just two good-looking people that are together. Shit happens.
You left off at Julius.
I left off at Julius at 12. At 11, I have Martellus Bennett. I'm very high on him as well in the offense, though. I do see a cap on his production just because there are so many weapons there in Green Bay, and the ball gets spread so much. I mean, there's only so many touchdowns to go around. So, I mean, it kind of caps his value there. At 10, I have the Ertz man, Zach Ertz, Philly boy. At 9, I have Jack Doyle. I absolutely love Jack Doyle. I just love saying his name more than anything, but, Jack Doyle at 9. At 8 is where I got Tyler Eifert, and realistically speaking, he could easily be 2. He's got the talent to easily be the second best tight end and second best by quite a margin. But injuries, you know what I mean? He's got that elbow thing, and he's also had a couple of knee injuries as well. So you know what I mean? Just keeping himself healthy has been an issue. At 7, Kyle Rudolph. I love this dude again. Notre Dame product, big time, tight end there. Just been big time tight end in this league. Very consistent. But, these 6 guys ahead of him are just so much talent. And at 6, speaking of that talent, Jimmy Graham, I think another year in this offense, another year with Russell Wilson. I just see the numbers continuing to rise as they've been every year since he's been in Seattle. At 5, I have Delaney Walker. Again, just just consistency. And a guy who's been consistently getting better every year, too, which is hard to say for the level of production he's put up over the last, 4 years in Tennessee. At 4, I have Jordan Reed just because, like I said, the talent's there. More importantly, who does Kirk Cousins have to throw to? 3 is Greg Olsen. We all know why. 2 is Travis Kelce. I mean, he did have 1,000 yards last year as a tight end. And 1 is Gronk because Gronk smash.
Definitely. Does your list differ, Brian, at all?
My list differs just in position.
Okay.
A lot of the same names, obviously, but a lot of different positions. All right, so number 10, I'm with Mikey here. I got Hunter Henry at number 10. Number 9, I have Zach Ertz. Number 8, with a lot of chance of moving up, is Tyler Eifert. Number 7, Delaney Walker. Number 6, Jimmy Graham. Number 5, Kyle Rudolph. Number 4, Greg Olsen. Number 3, Jordan Reed. Number 2, Rob Gronkowski.
Ooh.
And number 1, Travis Kelce.
That's what I was
we
getting
got
to.
a hater. No.
Right. Ain't no hater. I mean, I think Rob Gronkowski is easily the best tight end, but He's got to stay healthy.
Right. And, I mean, there's two ways to look at that. And I was waiting for someone to point that out, that he may not be number one on account of health. But let's say he misses even 6 games. I think in the other 10 games he can still put up number one tight end, stats.
He's done it.
Which I think he did last year before he got hurt.
Right. Right. So, I mean, there's two ways to look at that coin and what have you. But just because he did it last year doesn't mean it's going to replicate again. I mean, the stars were aligned for that Patriots team. Let's call it like it is.
Yeah, I agree. And Travis Kelce's done nothing but consistently produce for Kansas City. He's got a great relationship with Alex Smith. It's his number one receiver. I don't care who else he has. He loves throwing to Travis Kelce.
I also, again, not to beat a dead horse, I like how high you were on Kyle Rudolph. That was the highest I've heard so far. You had him at
5.
5, yeah, which, I have him at 9, and I really wanted to put him higher. A lot of it was just, trying to measure up against last year's stats, yada, yada. But I think he could be a top 5 tight end. He definitely could be.
I agree with you 100%. Easy.
The list that I got that I use as reference, Kyle Rudolph was number 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's no reason to not be high on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's a good player, man. I don't know. I always love those Notre Dame tight ends, man. They always end up producing in the league. They're always, quality football players, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Another Notre Dame player has made a lot of these lists. Former Notre Dame tight end, Tyler Eifert, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
He's also a Notre Dame tight end.
They know how to raise him there. Must be all the priests.
They raise them, and then they bow them down.
Kind of Catholic am I? All right, let me give 60. I'll give 16. I'll give it somewhere in the middle there or whatnot. Just because I want to reiterate Cam and Brait making football great again. Now with OJ, not Simpson, but Howard. The two of them, at first I was like, man, this is a tough situation for fantasy football because they're just going to eat away at our touches. I think both are going to be successful. I think you pointed this out just now or on a past show. You look at how successful Gronk and Martellus Bennett were together. This is setting up to be a similar situation. Got to love that Tampa Bay offense this season. 14, I got Antonio Gates. 13, I got Eric Ebron. 12, I got Martellus Bennett. 11, I got Zach Ertz. Hunter Henry comes in at 10, as I said before. Kyle Rudolph at 9. Tyler Eifert at 8. Jimmy Graham at 7. Jack Doyle at 6. I'm even higher a little bit.
Jack Doyle.
You like that?
I do like that.
Delaney at 5. Jordan Reed at 4. Greg Olsen at 3. Kelce 2, Gronk 1. I still put Gronk 1, and I am concerned if I'm in a position to draft him. I hope not, because at 10 in my one league, that means all the good running backs and wide receivers were just obliterated from 1 to 9, and that's why I'm getting Gronk. So, yeah, definitely he can put up the production, but he's got to stay on the football field.
Agreed. But I'm still taking Gronk at 10.
Yeah, obviously depending who's best available, but obviously you could get. I feel like Kelce would be a great tight end too in the 2nd or 3rd round as well.
Yeah.
Because he'll slip even if you get Olsen. I would be satisfied with Olsen. I mean, and Rudolph, and Reed, and Walker.
Most guys on our list, I'd be okay with taking in the 2nd.
You really only need one tight end on your team, and I feel like this is almost deeper than our running backs.
Yeah, well, no.
With pretty solid production all around.
Well, yeah, if you get any, realistically speaking, if you get any of like the top
15 maybe.
I would say 12 to be safe. If you get anybody in the top 12, even in any of our various lists, if you get one of those top 10, 12 tight ends, you're fine.
Yeah, it's deep.
It is. It's deeper than a lot of people think.
Yeah. Yeah, for a change. All right, so let me put it to you because I have a question for you guys. Okay. At drafting at this 10, let's say a wide receiver like Amari Cooper is there. Would you go Cooper or would you go Gronk?
I'm going Gronk.
Going Gronk?
Oh, yeah.
What round are we talking? We're still
10th overall.
10th overall pick.
PPR league, of course.
Keeper league?
It's a weird keeper league, though. It's anybody you draft in the 10th round or later, and then you keep them 3 spots earlier. The higher rollers league. Quick shout-out, Brian Martin, Neil the Hawk Entourage, Neil Brown created this league. It's beautiful. And listen to the setup. So like I said, anybody after the 10th round you keep. And let's say I drafted Dak Prescott at 15, which I did. I get to keep Dak at 12, in the 12th round. this year, that's beautiful.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then after that, if I want to keep him the next year, then it's 5 rounds up, so I would keep him at 10, and then I think it caps off at 3 years, and then you can no longer keep him.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. There's a limit actually.
Right.
Who's my running back available?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too. Yeah.
That's the real question.
Okay.
At that point, I would say just. Oh man.
It does really.
I'll give you 3. There's these 3 running backs available: Melvin Gordon, Isaiah Crowell, and Lamar Miller.
Oh, I'm taking Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon there.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
if they're the top 3 available, I'm taking Gordon at 10 only because, like I said before, running back isn't so
Well,
deep.
hold on. Let's make this a little bit more of a realistic situation.
Caleb
Throw 3
Sturgis is
receivers in
available.
there, too.
Shit.
Throw 3 receivers in there too. Let's
All
make
right.
it a realistic scenario.
Amari, as I said before.
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins, T.Y. Hilton.
Maybe T-Money. I see. It's just so
See,
tough because
now
I know I
that's
have
a
him
little-
at 10, but it's just like it's the name popping out at me. I would probably go. I'm going Gordon because I see, like I said, I'm high on having to go out and get a running back first, of course, unless you have one of the top 4 wide receivers that we talked about before. But
I think you're on to something.
I think you got to go Gordon because they're not deep this year. I mean, at least I don't see
Right.
them being that deep.
In years past, in a PPR league, if you weren't in the top 3 or 4 positions, you're almost guaranteed going a wide receiver. It's not like that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and I'll tell you right now, I have to agree with Mike. I'm going Gordon here still, even with that setup of receivers, because I look at it in that scenario. If I can get Gronk on the wraparound pick
Right.
in the second round, I'll take Gronk there. If T.Y. Hilton's still not there. If T.Y. Hilton's gone. If T.Y. Hilton's there in that spot, I'm taking Hilton.
Right. Well, this was sort of a loaded question because I wanted to see what your answers were based on. I sort of was keeping track of the ADP value of all these players that I was throwing out to you. And you guys didn't even factor that into the equation. You're looking more at the player, more at the spot. And I think that's what needs to be done. It needs to be best available, best talent available. A big common mistake that people make is being over-reliant on rankings and average draft position.
Yeah.
Average draft position is just a reflection of the past drafts that have already happened.
Yeah.
Well, shit changes every day. We see this on that one day with Jordan Matthews going to Buffalo and Sammy Watkins going out to Los Angeles Rams. How can you really accurately go by their ADP then?
You can't because now Matthews is lower and
Right.
Well, they're both actually lower.
They're both lower.
Yeah, they're both lower. But
Sammy might be about the same. He might be about the same because, I mean, he's going from Tyrod Taylor, which I do like.
I like Tyrod.
He's
There's nothing to hate about Tyrod.
No, there's nothing to hate about him, right? And now I know Jared Goff had a pretty piss-poor first year or whatnot, but there is talent there, and there is a good selection of – I mean, we were talking about your boy.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp,
Yeah,
who could be
I like Cooper, man. I really
man.
do.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might be a similar scenario. I think what really hurts Sammy Watkins is Sammy Watkins himself getting injured and not staying on the field.
His goddamn foot.
But it's just such a big common like where I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to pick this guy. Even though I love that guy better, I'm going to go for this guy because his average draft position is like 69 and I'm drafting him 72. So I got a good deal, right?
No,
Instead
that's not
of
always true.
by the time I get depends on where you're at. Are you in the middle of that round? Are you, one of the first couple picks or one of
Yeah.
the second picks where it's going to be a while till you pick again after you do the double, the back-to-back picks? That guy that you really wanted, but you passed up on because of the ADP going based on ADP will not be there when you get back around to him. And then all of a sudden you have a team of guys you really didn't want to draft.
Yeah, you got to go out and get your main guy.
Yeah, and
You
if
know,
I'm in that,
realistically,
if I'm in that spot, Melvin Gordon's the ideal guy to pick. Not just because he's the best player. I think because you're going to get the most out of him. He's a versatile back. He can catch out of the backfield, and he can run the ball.
Even so, I mean, with where everybody has Jordy Nelson, I think Jordy Nelson would be a great pick at 10 as well.
Right.
So, I mean, last year he had 97 receptions. I could see him going for that 100 this year.
My plan is I'm hoping to either grab Mike Evans. I don't think he'll be there, but maybe Mike Evans, Jordy Nelson, and then come back around and possibly draft Zeke at 14. That's something that I'm thinking about doing personally myself, and then I'll grab like Darren McFadden or Alfred Morris, whoever's available later on in the draft, because Darren McFadden's the clear backup and will be the starter when Zeke's suspended, but Alfred Morris, he could be a very
PPR.
sneaky value in PPR leagues.
Flex.
He's just perfect for their zone blocking scheme. It's something that I've read a lot about, so that's why I'm reiterating it a ton on the show today.
I can dig that.
And a guy too. I mean, I'm coming from a homer stance right now as well as Martavius Bryant for the wide receiver position. They said he's having a great camp and he looks amazing right now. He's like basically all muscle at this point.
No.
He looks good. Had a whole fresh year off, but you got to look for him too. He's a guy that probably, some people say, drafting him in the 6th round might be too high, but I mean, he's going to have production. He's good for that 2 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. That's good enough for me.
Works
right?
for me.
Hey, listen, if you're only making 2 catches and that's what you do with them, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
If you're making those catches count.
God bless you.
Don't sleep on Martavius this year. A lot of people forget that he's back.
Hey,
Right.
don't forget, Tyler Gabriel took a lot of people to a championship last year, too.
Well,
don't
true.
sleep on that kid
And-
stepping up and getting even better.
As I said in the first segment, Bilal Powell. He was another guy that 32 points, I think, week 14. I think it was the first week or 13, whatever the first week of the playoffs was. He got me like 32 points, and coming from the 6th seed and winning, I was like, oh, shit.
I think it's going to continue on into this season, too. Matt Forte's already banged up in camp.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a story of this year. I mean, that team's putrid. They're going to have to use Forte sparingly or else he's going to get, destroyed. So enter Bilal Powell, and it's all about touches.
Yeah.
In football, how many times is my guy going to have an opportunity to run with the ball, catch the ball, overtime's been shortened by 5. I don't know if you guys know about that. It's now
it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes now, which that ticks me off a little bit because not that it's a
I would
common
take
occurrence.
a tie over a loss, though.
Yeah, true.
But
it's all about the fantasy for me. I love to root for players that I have their teams going into overtime because it's just opportunity for more touches that I could have just a leg up on my opponent.
I agree.
Absolutely. If you're looking to get a leg up on your hygiene, go hit up the Soap Stash. They are the new soap standard, and they remind you to treat your skin with the best nutrients and feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural. So contact Soap Stash today for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. Call them 844-890-3197. That's 844-890-3197. Look them up online, soapstash.com, and look for specials on Facebook. Soap Stash LLC. They are the new soap standard. We still got one more segment left. We're going to finally put draft season to bed in terms of Fantasy Dominance Now's coverage. We're going to go over defense and team defense, special teams, and kickers. This is Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Whoopsies!
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com, being brought to you by another one of our lovely sponsors, Liberty Event Rentals. For all your party needs, give them a call, 267-314-7368, or look them up online, libertyeventrentals.com. Pretty easy, people. Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkopf, Doug Pittsford, yours truly, Rob Povia in the motherfucking house. Matt Sudi on the ones and twos, bringing you all today's Fantasy Dominance. If you want in on the dominance and be ready to just crush your draft, win that fantasy championship and all the spoils that go with it, there's a couple ways to do that. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search A2DRadio.com. If you got fantasy questions, tweet us with the hashtag AskFDN. So, boys, it's time to go back to where we sort of started. You know, 2 shows ago, we started with IDP leagues, ranking our defensive linemen, defensive backs, linebackers. Let me not forget about the linebackers, very important IDP leagues. And then also our last show, we did standard league rankings. So if you missed any of those shows, you're in those type of leagues, go back to the catalog on our YouTube channel, and you can find those shows right now to watch, get prepped for your fantasy draft season. But
Yes.
We did cover all PPR positions, wide receiver, running back, tight end. So we're back to the defense now for overall rankings for any league that you're in. it's not as clear cut as it has been in years past, but I still had a fairly easy time given my rankings here. I'm gonna do 16 for a 16-team league. I'll give you, if you want all 32, you can hit me up on Twitter at RobbieBLTZ. 16, I got the Ravens. 15, I got the Bucks. 14, I have the Packers, who will be an improved defense this year.
That's very improved, yes.
Yes. Got 13 is the Carolina Panthers. 12, your Steelers. I got 11, the Chargers. 10, the Jags. Rams at number 9. Seahawks at 8. Patriots at 7. Vikings at 6. Giants at 5. Great run defense this year. Going to shut down a lot of teams. Broncos at 4. Cardinals at 3. The Kansas City Chiefs at 2. And I still have, for the third year in a row, the Houston Texans.
Wow. One team I just noticed that I didn't hear on your list, but I might have missed them. No Seahawks?
Yeah, no, 8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I sped through it a little bit because lists are boring.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But that's what we're here to do. I mean, what's great about YouTube, too, is that, we might be speeding through them, but you can move that cursor, man, right? Jot it down, get your cheat sheets ready for that draft, and just be ready to crush it.
Absolute.
He's looking for a pen now.
When you forget a team, you want to take a team off and throw a team on there.
I hear you.
Hey, I've been doing it while I was sitting here. Because there are players, there's like 1 or 2 players where I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot this guy. Let me just edit this on the fly.
I'm not going to edit. It's my list. I'm not changing for anybody. It's my list.
Well, that's why I changed it, because I changed it for me.
No, I got it. I'm good now.
But no, I actually did a top 20 on my defense. I'm going to roll through 20 only because a lot of people in leagues, they stack. They go with 2 defenses. That way they can just swap in and out for matchups and whatnot. I know this is my theory. That's why I win a lot in my fantasy leagues, because I'm able to do that, avoid negative matchups. Exactly. They can't see me. At 20, I got the Bucks. I think this defense could be a lot higher by season's end, but they need to stay healthy and prove it. Same thing with my number 19 defense with the Miami Dolphins. At 18, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I was a little in between on this team because I do like a lot of the talent on this defense. It's just a matter of them actually producing, and they could be a lot higher than this. I actually could say they could be easily a top 10 defense based on talent alone. At 17, and this is another team that could be a top 10 team this season on terms of defense, I have the Tennessee Titans at number 17. I really like a lot of the things that they've done defensively in the offseason, and especially the addition of one Jabril Peppers. Just saying.
Yep.
Well, just saying.
Yeah.
At 16, I have the Oakland Raiders. At 15, I have the Baltimore Ravens. At 14, I know I'm going to get a lot for this. I got the Cleveland Browns. At 13, I have the New York Jets. They showed me a lot in that preseason game. Wow, that first-team defense looks legit. At 12, I have the St. Louis Rams. At 11, I have your Philadelphia Eagles. Special teams alone gets them right outside my top 10.
Yeah, special team factor here. Yep.
Yeah, special teams, and the fact they can really get after the quarterback, and I believe they'll be a top 10 teams in terms of total sacks, total defensive sacks. At 10, I have the Atlanta Falcons. Again, similar reason, special teams and defensive return touchdowns factor into this. They have a lot of guys that can really make plays and make guys miss in the open field with the football on defense with Atlanta. At 9, I have the New York Giants. Similar outfit with Landon Collins. He's a guy that can reach the end zone with the ball in his hands. Yeah. At 8, I have the New England Patriots. At 7, I have the Carolina Panthers. I think that secondary now being a year older, I think that defense steps back up a level. Not quite where they were 2 years ago, where they were that dominant, but they're going to get close. At 6, I have the Vikings. At 5, I have the Cardinals. At 4, I have the Chiefs. Special teams touchdowns is going to factors into that a lot. They got guys that can score. At 3, I have the Texans. J.J. Watt. Let's be real. At 2, I have the Seahawks. I think they're gonna come out and really show people something this year. And at 1, I have the Broncos. Best defense in the league by far.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not as high as on the Broncos, but I have them at 4, so I'm not that much lower.
Right.
Yeah. I get it.
I mean, I just think Von Miller and Shane Ray on either side, like that's going to be nightmares for quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, the Seahawks could go one of 2 ways. because they're going to be on the field more than they ever have been because I'm not a really big believer in this offense. Now, on the field gives opportunity for fantasy points.
Right.
Certainly. Also, being on the field a lot allows you to get burned a lot for points because you're tired.
Yeah, I don't see that with this team, though. I mean, their safeties are too good for that to happen, too, though. Like, it's different on a team that has okay or bad corners and no safeties, or have good safeties but no corners. But on a team that has probably still one of the best secondaries in all of football, you're not going to beat them. You're not going to beat them deep often. I mean, it happens. It's going to happen. This is football, but it's not going to happen often enough.
Right. I mean, let's face facts. Their strength is their linebacker core.
And their the back seven, absolutely.
I mean, even the secondary, has weakened over the years. Age, is a factor, but I mean, it's still a pretty good secondary, a lot better than I've grown accustomed in my fandom. But the line, I just think of Bobby Wagner. You know what I mean? I'm in love with Bobby Wagner. He's a great linebacker.
No, he's an absolute great player. I mean, Michael Bennett up front.
Michael Bennett too, yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. I've always been in love with Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor. I mean, those have been my guys. Not even so much Richard Sherman, but you throw Richard Sherman in there too. And they did bring back what's his name? From their championship team. I can't think of the player's name now. The opposite corner went to New England. I can't think of his name now.
But no.
For the life of me, for some reason.
Butler. Butler's the one that ruined
he's
their
the one
dynasty.
That ruined their dynasty. No, he's the big corner that they had that walked away and got paid. I want to say it's like Brandon something.
Beat me.
But
beats me too.
Yeah.
I can't think right now. I'm like lost in the sauce.
He's lost in the sauce. Well, while we try to figure that out, I'll run out my top 10. And the team that I scribbled out and I forgot about was the Rams defense. And that's something that you brought up, Rob, and I do like the Rams defense, so therefore I'm throwing them at number 10.
Yeah. Agreed, man. I could see with that because they're another year like gelled together. Yeah. And they showed a lot of promise last year.
They're a good young defense, man. Aaron Donald. I mean, he's one of the best defensive linemen in the league right now.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. In the IDP show, a lot of people were all salivating over like guys like J.J. Watt and Khalil Mack. I might be, hey, I'll allow you to draft them early while I'm drafting offensive guys, and I'll go get Aaron Donald.
Hell yeah. I would be happy as hell. And Cam Hayward, another guy, too, for D linemen that, sneaky later guys.
Absolutely.
But there's my pen. It was on the ground.
Brandon Browner is the guy I was thinking.
Yeah.
Browner, yeah. Now I got it now.
All right, so Rams 10. I'm going to have Giants at 9. I got the Patriots at 8. I have the Panthers at 7. I have Cards at 6. Chiefs 5. Houston 4. Seattle 3. Vikings 2. And Denver numero uno.
Huh? You guys are together on that Denver thing. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to go up against them. I mean, if we're looking at points from last year, they're not number one, clearly, because of the Vikings. The Vikings had 13 defensive touchdowns last season, which obviously they're not going to match that.
Right.
But, I mean, you're not going to go wrong with either of those top 5, top 6.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Absolutely. Brian, what's your list?
I like my list.
Yeah, I like my list.
I like my list.
Nice.
Number 10, I have the Eagles. Number 9, I have the Falcons. 8, I have the Vikings. 7, Chiefs. 6, Raiders. 5, I have the Seahawks. 4, Patriots. 3, Ravens, which I don't think anybody put the Ravens into the top 10.
No, I had him 16, but not 10. Raiders, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I like that Raiders defense. 2, I have the Broncos, and 1, I'm with you, Rob. I like the Texans the best.
Yeah.
I think they're the best all-around defense.
Agreed.
They're a very good defense. They definitely they can do it all pretty much. I'm not 100% sold yet that the offense will be able to keep the ball on the field long enough for them to.
And then you run into the same thing I was given scenario for the Seahawks, too, being on the field more opportunity for points, more opportunity to give up points.
Agreed. I mean, I could see that, but I don't see that. I mean, Seattle's always been able to really move the football. They've always been a top 10 rushing team. They've always been a top 10 team in terms of first downs gained in the league. So it's like I've never really seen that offense under Russell Wilson really not be that stagnant. They've always moved the ball. Not necessarily equates to points.
Right.
But they've possessed the ball, moved
An
the
efficient
ball.
offense.
Yeah.
Now, I hear what you're saying. I just looking at this personnel. We're laughing at him before. Cheeseburger Eddie's not going to get it done. Thomas Rawls has shown that fantasy success we saw was more a flash in the pan. I mean, Eddie Lacy is going to a good situation where the offensive scheme fits his skill set. So maybe there could be some upside there. But I just don't like the personnel. I don't like the receiving core here. I don't even like Doug Baldwin. I just had him ranked higher because he's their clear number one.
Yeah.
But behind that, I mean, there's guys that have promise, but I just haven't seen it yet. So not to harp on the Seahawks, because I was just bringing that up in point with the Texans, that too could be a problem there as well. Right. Do you feel that offense will struggle to keep the defense on the field? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that just, with just keeping the defense off the field, I'm a little bit more convinced that Seattle's offense can accomplish that, at least enough to give players rest,
right,
more than I am with Houston per se, at least at this moment. I mean, that's not to say that, Deshaun Watson doesn't change that.
Right.
Or Tom Savage can change that.
Sure.
But,
Well, Brian, you had him number 1, 2, or whatnot. How do you see this working out, shaping up for the Texans?
I think the Texans are going to be fine. I think they're going to be a team that's on the bubble this year. Like I said, I don't see Tom Savage being the starting quarterback all season long. I know I said 2 to 3 weeks earlier, but I really think it's going to be like 3 or 4 before Deshaun Watson comes in and takes over.
Right.
And they got a good running game. They got Lamar Miller. They got Devonta Foreman in the draft. So your running game is pretty set. They're set at the tight end position. The only question is, wide receiver, what are you going to do with Will Fuller now for 3 to 8 weeks? So, I mean, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be a bubble team that I think defense is going to carry them most of the year like it did last year.
Right, yeah, as the offense sort of maturates, in the Deshaun Watson era. And he's going to need time to get acclimated to the pro game more than I think some of the other quarterbacks that were drafted, especially one Pat Mahomes, your boy, who's been tearing it up in camp. Just wanted to let you know about that in case you didn't.
I love Patrick Mahomes.
Actually, I didn't know about that. I just already knew that.
You knew.
You didn't even have to know.
Because I know the kid.
Right. And to Deshaun Watson's credit, him too, he's been looking pretty good at camp, adjusting the pro-style offense more than I gave him credit for when we were talking about the NFL draft earlier this year. But it'll still take time. Nobody comes in and lights it. Hardly anybody comes in and lights it up from game one. So.
Peyton Manning didn't. That's for damn sure.
Truth.
Yeah.
All right, boys. So about 10 minutes left in the show. Let's do everybody's favorite position, the kickers.
It is my favorite position. I once nailed a 35-yard field goal in practice, and then I became the long snapper.
Let me just call it like it is. All right, so if I have 16 picks in one of my leagues, number 15 will be the defense, and number 16 will be the kicker.
Yeah, right.
I value those positions more than that, man.
I'm going probably 3rd round. I'm going kicker. So
I'm actually probably going 5th round kicker.
No way.
6th round kicker.
No way.
I'm
going last pick, Mr. Irrelevant.
Stir up the pot. Stir it up. Stir it up.
Hey, man, I always take my kicker somewhere between 12 and 15, depending on how, because I did a lot of deep leagues.
Like I was telling them, one season I forgot to draft a kicker. That's how much I love this position.
That's bad, bro.
Not a bad thing. Hey, you draft for depth. You draft a couple upsides, see how camp works out. One guy doesn't work out, you drop him, grab a kicker, grab like a Cannizzaro or a Jason Myers or a Greg Zuerlein, who have fallen down in the ranks. According to my opinion, just looking at my ranks real quick, I'll give a 16 clip. I got Will Lutz from New Orleans at 16 because that offense is just dynamic, going to have a lot of extra points, field goal opportunities. Nick Novak for Houston. The opposite side, I feel that offense is going to stall out a lot, giving them a lot of long field goal opportunities. Graham Gano at 14, Cairo Santos at 13, Matt Prater at 12, Caleb Sturgis at 11, Blair Walsh at 10, and I almost thought about leaving him off my list altogether, but
wide left.
Yeah, but hopefully he'll rebound because he does have a good leg. Mason Crosby at 9. Obviously, that offense is going to be dynamic, and he's one of the better kickers in this league. Adam Vinatieri, still old man Vinatieri, getting it done at 8. 7, Matt Bryant. 6, Dan Bailey. 5, Steven Gostkowski. 4, Phil Dawson. 3, Brandon McManus. 2, Sebastian Janikowski. I have him up there a little bit. Maybe that's a little bit of I just love owning them in fantasy teams. But that offense is going to be, improved too, which, gives them a lot more opportunities. I mean, not to say that it was bad last year, but it's just going to continue to grow. And number 1, not a big surprise, Justin Tucker, probably the best kicker in football.
It has to be.
Yeah, he's definitely the best kicker in football. He's not my number 1. He's the best kicker in football.
Agreed. Here's the difference between real life and fantasy.
Yeah.
There's other factors to take into account. So let's dive right into yours, man.
Yeah, man. At 16, I have Matt Prater. At 15, I got Josh Lambo. At 14, I got Graham Gano. At 13 is where my Blair Walsh project ended up. At 12 is Caleb Sturgis. By the way, that was one of the best team names a couple years ago, the Blair Walsh project.
Blair Walsh.
Yeah.
That was a great name. At 11 is where I got your boy, Mikey, Chris Boswell.
Hey, Bazoo.
Oh, yeah, man. He puts up monster numbers, bro. At 10 is where I got Kyrie Santos. At 9 is where I slot in Mason Crosby as well. At 8 is Will Lutz. I think he puts up a lot of points this year. 7, Dustin Hopkins. At 6 is where Seabass ended up. At 5 is where I got Gostkowski. At 4 is Adam Vinatieri. At 3 is Dan Bailey. 2 is Justin Tucker because that leg's ridiculous. And 1 is the ageless one, Matt Bryant.
Matt Bryant, number 1. Yeah,
he's led. What is it? He's led the league in points the last 3 years.
Right.
That's where my number 1 fantasy kicker always.
I always did. I think every year I have him on at least 1 or 2 teams.
He's the best kicker. It's crazy. He's so old, but he doesn't kick anything over 40. It's nuts.
You don't need to go over 40 apparently if you're going to hit him. So
it's also, it also helps when you have Matt Ryan in that offense.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
You're not kicking very far.
Absolutely. Let's go to your list, Brian. Who do you got for kickers?
All right, well, I'm going to go 11 on this one because I forgot a guy. Number 11, I got Brandon McManus.
Yeah, I forgot him.
Number 10. I don't know how I forgot him. He's on my team.
Mick Mahanis.
He's in my top 20.
That's why it didn't look familiar.
Number 10, I have Sebastian Janikowski. Number 9, Dustin Hopkins. Number 8, Matt Prater. Number 7, Mason Crosby. Number 6, I'm a little high on Will Lutz. Number 5, Adam Vinatieri. Number 4, Steven Gostkowski. Number 3 is where I put Justin Tucker. Number 2, Dan Bailey. Number 1, Matt Bryant.
Wow. This is the biggest differential I think we've had yet.
Yeah.
Is the frickin' kickers, damn it.
That's why I avoid them. They're so hard to predict.
All right, here we go. You want to hear mine now?
No. Absolutely. I saved you for last, man.
I got Adam Vinatieri at number 10. Caleb Sturgis at 9, Crosby at 8, Gano at 7, Santos at 6, Hopkins at 5, 4, Gostkowski, 3, Bailey, 2, Bryant, and number 1, JT, Justin Tucker.
It's Justin Tucker all day.
The opera man.
Yeah, right.
But Doug makes a point. He led the league 3 years in a row. So
hey, Bryant's number 2, man.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference is you rate the offenses. The Falcons' offense a lot better than the Ravens' offense. Yes. So, but more field goal opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah. That doesn't really mean too much because the extra points obviously are worth less than the field goals. So.
Right.
Well, I mean, and again, Tucker makes up for that with that ridiculous.
He's hitting at least 1050s this year.
Yeah, okay. money.
Definitely. I wasn't even joking there. I was serious that, we missed you on the show. I'm glad that you're back.
I'm happy to be back, man. It's been a long time.
And it's not like it was any bad blood or anything like that. Yeah, you went on a nice 2-week vacation, had a good time. Then we had the station's week off.
The bye week, yep.
It's glad to be back for the big time of the year when it comes to fantasy.
My favorite time of the year.
We cover
NFL season, baby.
Absolutely. We cover everything fantasy here on the show, so it's year-round party here at Fantasy Dominance now. But fantasy football, I think, is the season that everybody gets the most geeked up. I mean, I love fantasy baseball, too. It's my first love. It's like my high school girlfriend, but fantasy football is absolutely where it's at.
That's why there's 28-hour marathon going on right now. So, I mean, there's a reason as to why, we talk about it so much, and it's one of the most hyped up of all fantasy sports. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love draft seasons, especially for football. You know, it's just such a tense but fun time of year, right? We talked about a couple mistakes to avoid earlier on the show. A couple that I didn't get to real quick, spat off. Fear of judgment. Pick who you want to pick. Don't fear that, oh, how could you pick that guy at that point or what others have to say. Own your team. Own the players you draft. And a big mistake that most people make is avoiding upside. They want to go with that safe player that's done it year in and year out and year in and year out. You're going to miss a guy like Dalvin Cook. You're going to miss a guy like O.J. Howard. You know, guys with upside pay off, very handsomely in fantasy. I think we can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, but hey, don't be afraid to take that secure guy if it's in certain spots. Don't be afraid to do that early in draft.
Larry Fitz.
Early in a draft. Don't be afraid.
It depends on the spots. We asked you on Twitter, what round should Ezekiel Elliott go considering a 6-game suspension? Still in the first, second, third, or fourth or later? Currently, right now, 38% going with still first.
Wow.
Second place is 31% for third round. And then we got 16% for fourth or later, 15% in last and second. So looking either first or third. I think that's been the two common things that I've been seeing. I'm really surprised that, first round is still leading this poll. A lot of votes coming in, a lot more time to vote. Go now on Twitter at A2DRadio_com and be a part of the final results.
Honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with Gronk,
Does.
It's a similar conversation with Gronk to Zeke. It's a semi-thin position.
Absolutely. Oh, it's fun, boys. Let's get ready for draft season. Get ready to go to the BMW of Atlantic City dealership. And it's easy to get to. Minutes off of exit 37 off the Garden State Parkway. 6037 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township. Give them a call, 609-568-9200. For Brian Daly, Mike Klankoff, Doug Pitchford, I'm Rob Povia, Matt Tsuti on the ones and twos. We'll catch you next week, people.
He almost forgot my name.
No, he did.